Yo, what's going on, guys? So got an Imperialdramon gameplay video for you guys, but I did also just want to show you the deck list before we begin because I've already kind of done a couple of Imperialdramon deck profiles and not much has really changed. Coming to BT5, the biggest changes being the addition of Blitz Omnimon here. This Omnimon's really good because it basically lets you get another swing out of your Imperialdramon, and then plus he also has the protection effect where if you would be deleted by like an effect or something, you can trash an Imperialdramon or just like a level 6 material underneath them instead. So the deck list is pretty standard. I'm not an expert on Imperialdramon by any means. There's also the addition of the 1-cost blocker here. Coelamon, I think he's pretty good because, as opposed to like Gorillamon, who's also 1-cost, this guy can block if you need him to, but you're usually just going to be digivolving him anyways. And I also got like some spicy text here like Aerovedramon just to unsuspend stuff, and Leopardmon because he can give everything jamming, even though like most things have jamming already, but then I don't know, it's just cool being able to play another Digimon from your sources. And then also I want to make the level 6 count a little bit higher since I am playing 3 copies of Omnimon. But yeah, if you guys have suggestions, let me know, but let's go ahead and get into the gameplay. So, game 1, I'm going to be facing off against a purple deck, and as you can probably tell by the title, it is not just any purple deck. This is DanDevimon. So this guy's really cool. Unfortunately, he's not the most budget-friendly deck just because of the fact that you have to run a lot of the DanDevimon, like the promo DanDevimon. So there's like the tournament pack one that mills when you play it, and then there's the one that actually revives him from the trash, and both of those are pretty essential to the deck. Regardless, it is a very fun deck. So you'll see he got set up with the Devimon in the back, and then unfortunately I didn't open any level 4, so I'm just going to Digivolve the Vmon and then play, not Imperialdramon, DanDevimon for a cost of 8. Passing my turn over, and then my opponent is going to start with 6. Gonna go ahead into the Lady Devimon, and Lady Devimon is super powerful because you get to set up your trash, which is extremely important, especially in this purple variant specifically. So he's gonna go to that, draw 2, discard 2, and then there's one of the promos I was talking about. So when played, that Devimon lets you just the top 2 cards of your deck, and your whole goal is to try to basically get DanDevimon in the trash along with a bunch of other names so you can revive them with the BT4 promo Devimon's effect. So then he's going to go DanDevimon with 2 really cool effects. So if I do end up swinging at his security, meaning his security card is trash, that means I'm also going to lose one of my security cards in the process. But I'm playing Imperialdramon, so I don't really care. This is a very aggressive deck, a very like offensive deck, so you don't really care if you suffer the punishment of like losing a security card because you're trying to OTK your opponent as quickly as possible. So then, I'm just going to swing with the DanDevimon, who does have jamming. Both of these Digimon do have jamming, so they're not going to die regardless of what I hit. But unfortunately for me, I did hit a Night Raid in security, and Night Raid security effect lets you just play it for free, so he gets an Impmon for free. I'm just going to go into Imperialdramon for 3 memory, and then restand both of my Digimon, unsuspend both of them, because he does unsuspend everything on your field with jamming. So now I'm going to get 2 more swings in. Unfortunately, the Devimon there is only once per turn, so I've taken out a lot of my opponent's security in just this one turn. I'm still at 4, so I'm pretty confident that I can maybe hold out unless he just gets rid of both of my Digimon. He does have the DanDevimon on field, but if he does want to like kill the Imperialdramon, he'll have to crash because he doesn't have any sort of DP boost on it right now. They're both 12,000 DP, so then I'm just going to play Davis to end my turn. Who lets me reveal the top 3 cards and add a blue and green Digimon in this, to my hand, which is really cool because you can potentially go +2 off of something like DanDevimon or Puppetmon, which I'm also running, but that is going to end my turn. So then for his turn, he's going to start with the promo DanDevimon, just Digivolve that in the breeding area, and then we are going to see his DanDevi crash into my Imperialdramon. So that's fortunate for him because he does get, the DanDevi in trash. He'll be able to trigger the promo Devimon later on, and then he's going to draw a bunch of cards because he had the Gabumon, I believe, as well as the Demi-Meramon. He's going to draw some cards, discard some cards. You see there, he's also playing Omnimon Zwart, which is a really, really crazy level 7 new to the BT5 set. So then we're just going to see the Impmon attack. Another interesting card because Impmon does help you. I guess the only synergy is there, yeah, he helps you build up your trash, so building up names very quickly, and then he's just going to swing with that and die. Afterwards, we are going to see the blocker Devimon, which is just so good because not only is he a one-cost, to Digivolve, so he's basically a staple in most purple decks, but it also just works so well with this specific strategy because his name is Devimon, so then, he accounts for one of the 7 names in trash that you're trying to get to. So then to end off his turn, he's just going to play the promo Devimon, mill a couple more cards, and at this point I'm like, alright, he's gotten a lot of dudes in trash, I need to check, and sure enough, he does actually have 7 or more Devimons in the trash right now. I guess he only needed 5 because if he swings with the retaliation Devimon over there, that'll count for the 2 as well. So then my turn is going to start. I will start with 3 because of my Davis. Just going to Digivolve the Vmon, and then I did draw into a couple of level 4s. Fortunately, can't go for the swing with the Vmon because he does have the blocker Devimon on field. And you'll see here I'm going to kind of take back what I just did because I realized I do have Hammer Spark in hand, so it wouldn't be ideal to Digivolve Coelamon in the breeding area. Instead, I'm probably just going to play the Hammer Spark, so I'll take him back, Digivolve on top of the Vmon, then play the Hammer Spark, go back to 3, so then now I can just go straight into a level 5 Digimon, so that'll be really nice. Probably going to go into DanDevimon because if he does block me, DanDevimon does have piercing, so the attack will still go through and he'll lose a Digimon. So I'm guaranteed a swing this way is basically my point. So now that my opponent is down to 0 security, and he's got 3 Digimon in the back, meaning he won't be able to kill me the following turn. I think I should just set up a couple of more Digimon just to be safe. I could just play the Electmon. I can't play the Puppetmon for 11. Not sure that would even be the best move there, but I'm just going to leave him with 2 memory and play the Electmon to round off my turn. Then my opponent is going to bring out his Devimon from the breeding area, which is really unfortunate because not only is he going to get to kill my Dinobi because of the effect of retaliation, basically whenever Devimon loses a battle, the opponent's Digimon is destroyed anyway. So then not only that, but then he will also get the inherited effect of the Devimon to, if you have 7 or more Devimons in trash, you get to just play DanDevi from your trash for absolutely free. So playing level 6 for free is pretty sweet, and he's going to resolve his DanDevimon as well. So then now I've got to deal with DanDevimon. Oh, and also I should mention that DanDevimon does have an on deletion effect, trash 2 cards from your hand. I do believe I did forget to resolve that earlier, when his DanDevimon crashed into my Imperialdramon. I probably should have resolved that, but I actually just forgot. So I do apologize for that, guys, but it's not going to change the outcome of the game. You'll see why in a second, because he's just going to go Zwart on top of his DanDevimon, which is so good. He just got back a level 6 for free for absolutely nothing, and then you can just go into a Zwart on top of it, and Zwart doesn't care that you can't attack that turn, your passing turn anyways, and he's going to bring back 2 blockers for me to deal with. So even though he is at 0 security, he's got 3 blockers on the field, he's got 5 Digimon in play, so not only can I not OTK him this turn, but I also won't be able to kill him the next turn. But I do kind of have an idea of what to do here. So what I'm going to do is just bait out both of his blockers because he is forced to block since he has 0 security. He has to block, otherwise he will lose the game. So then I just swing with the Electmon, blocker number 1 blocks, and then I'm going to swing with the Vmon, blocker number 2 blocks, and yes, I do end up losing both of my rookies, but what I'm going to do next is guaranteed that I don't lose the next turn. So I'm just going to play Vmon and play Puppetmon for 11, suspending the 3rd blocker and making sure none of them unsuspend during my opponent's next unsuspend phase. So now he does only have 2 Digimon on field. You could argue suspending the Zwart would have been the better move, because that way Zwart wouldn't have been able to use his, when attacking effect. He did end up having to use that to get rid of my Puppetmon, you'll see in a second. So he's going to go ahead and swing with these Zwart. Zwart does have the effect of, when you're attacking, you can return 1/6 material to your hand to delete an opponent's 12 cost or lower. So it definitely would have been better for me to suspend the Omnimon Zwart as opposed to one of his blockers, because even if suspended the Zwart, instead he still would have 1 blocker, and in this way he played the Chimeramon, so he would have guaranteed killed the Vmon anyways, but then at least the Puppetmon would have been left on field. But I have one Puppetmon, he has one blocker. In that scenario, he would still be able to prevent himself from losing. So like I said before, this didn't actually change the outcome of the game, as you will see that there's really nothing I can do at this point. So Imperialdramon is a very aggressive deck, but if you can't kind of win within the first couple of turns and your opponent's playing a more control deck or a deck that starts steamrolling late game, you're not going to have a good time, because now, as you can see, there's absolutely nothing I can do, and my opponent is going to take this game 1 by just attacking with the rest of his Digimon. I'm going to block with the Quellamon, but it's not going to matter. He's just going to swing for game. So then in game 2, I'm going to start. Much better hand this time. I did open not only the Vmon to draw some cards, but also Davis, and then Davis is going to fetch me the level 4 that I need to kind of combo off. So I play Davis, he adds the Frigimon, or not the Frigimon, the X-Vmon to my hand. I was debating Frigimon, but this way I can at least swing with the Vmon, get a sweet free swing in, and then, you know, unsuspend him with the X-Vmon, and then probably go DanDevimon over him after that. You can tell I do not play this deck that much. I'm not really the biggest fan of the Imperialdramon strategy, but I know a lot of people do like him. I really like Fighter mode, like just from the anime and stuff, and Paladin mode. I think they're really cool, but unfortunately we don't have those in the TCG yet. But hopefully that will happen one day. So, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and bring out my Vmon after my opponent sets up with the Devimon in the back and then plays his promo Devimon. I'm going to swing, get a free swing in and a free draw, and then Devimon is not going to lose that battle because he does have jamming. Then I'm going to Digivolve into X-Vmon for a cost of 2. X-Vmon says unsuspend one of your level 4 or lower Digimon, so I unsuspend himself, basically negating the fact that I just attacked with the Vmon the previous turn. So basically my opponent is, you know, just lost his security for nothing. So then after that, I was debating whether I should go Dino B or just play like an Electmon or something, or a Vmon. So I ended up playing a Vmon because this way, if I do end up going, you know, Dino Bmon, oh, I'm sorry. So I guess I just decided to Dino Bmon instead. I'm not sure what the best move would be there. I would think that, you know, setting up with the Vmon might be better, because then I could go Dino B the next turn and then Digivolve to Imperialdramon, unsuspend both of them. But I think the fact that he had the Devimon, I wanted to play around that. So Devimon does have the Digiburst effect of, you know, just delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. So I thought, after considering that the Dino B was the best move indeed. So he ends up activating it anyways, which you definitely can do. He just doesn't, you know, get an effect, but he wanted to just trash the cards underneath the Devimon. So that's a pretty nice strategy, just being able to trash cards whenever you want, especially in a deck that relies on their trash a lot. So then after that, I'm just going to Digivolve the Vmon there, and then swing with the Dino Bmon, and then Digivolve on up into Imperialdramon. Imperialdramon is a 5 cost, but if you're Digivolving onto a Dino B or a Pyledramon, he becomes a 3 instead, and he can evolve from a blue or green. And then after that, I'm just going to swing again, because he unsuspends all Digimon with jamming when he hits the board, which includes himself. So then I'm just going to Digivolve into him, swing again, activate a Hammer Spark, leaving my opponent with 1 memory by just playing the Electmon. So now this is kind of what you want to see, right? You want to have Davis, you want to guarantee yourself 3 memory, and then you want to have your Imperialdramon set up, and having a bunch of other jammers, you know, will potentially hit the board within the next couple of turns. So then he's just going to Digivolve the Devimon for 1. Suspecting that the Vmon is going to come out and probably start swinging at his security anyways. In this way, he has kind of a counter to that. And then after that, he's just going to play the DanDevimon for 3. I'm going to start with 3 anyways. He's just going to mill 2 cards, none of which are Devimon cards. So that's a little bit unfortunate. But with 3 memory, I could just start by attacking with the Imperialdramon. I'm going to draw 1 off the DanDevimon. Imperialdramon does have jamming, so regardless of what he hits, he's not going to die. And after that, I did actually draw the Omnimon for turns, so I realized that I have lethal on board, and you will see how exactly I do. So I'm going to swing, force out his block, and then swing with the Electmon. The Electmon dies, but that's no matter, because I can just go into Omnimon for a cost of 4. Omnimon has the Blitz ability, so when Digivolving, you can unsuspend him and then attack even though the memory has gone over to your opponent's side. So now I'm just going to be able to close out the game like that, which is super powerful, and which is why I think Omnimon is such a new, such like a good tool for like a lot of these aggro-focused decks like Imperialdramon. So then game 3, my opponent is going to start. Not the best start, I would say. You usually don't want to play the DanDevimon that early because it doesn't really do anything unless you have quite a big trash. But he's just going to Digivolve that Gabumon and play the DanDevimon. I'm going to Digivolve straight on up into Imperialdramon. It'd have to waste kind of waste the XVmon. Digivolving XVmon and not getting his effect is pretty terrible, but I figured that having the Imperialdramon swinging early would be better, especially because I do have Imperialdramon and Omnimon in my hand already. So then my opponent is just going to swing with the Gabumon, probably trying to get the effect of Demimeramon, just drawing some cards and trashing some cards to unbreak his hand, kind of, and it looks like it did okay because he's going to go into Blocker Devimon after that for a cost 1, and finally he's going to end things off by playing a Night Raid for 2, bringing back the Gabumon he just got rid of. So I'm going to start with 1. Would really love to see Davis here, but it's unfortunate. I don't always draw your tamer, so I'm just going to swing the Imperialdramon, draw a card off the DanDevimon, and Imperialdramon, of course, does have jamming. He also has the really nice inherited effect of if you're attacking with an Imperialdramon once per turn, you can just unsuspend it. So that lets you get effectively 2 hits with Imperialdramon, and if I did have Davis, I would have gotten like 3 because I wouldn't have had to pass turn by Digivolving into Imperial. So then my turn is going to end just by Digivolving to Imperialdramon, and my opponent is going to start just by Digivolving his DanDevimon. We got another Blocker Devimon on field. Which is fine, because if he decides to block my Imperialdramon, both of his guys will just die. They're super weak. And then he's going to end things off by Digivolving into Lady Devimon, leaving me with 2, which is such an awkward threshold. I wish I had at least like 3 memory to work with, but it's fine. So he's just going to trash a Chimeramon and a Devimon in his trash to end things off. So I'm going to start Drew into another Puppetmon. Not sure if I'll need those this game. It didn't work out last game, but we'll see. So then what I'm going to do here is just Digivolve into the Gomamon instead of the Vmon there, because I think I did just want to Digivolve into Imperialdramon, so, sorry, not Imperialdramon, DanDevimon. I keep saying Imperialdramon, they're the same dude, you guys know what I mean. So, anyways, one of the level 5s, so I'm just going to start by attacking with the Imperialdramon and then unsuspending him with the Imperialdramon's effect, basically allowing me to hit twice. Now that he only has 2 security, I have 2 hits from the Imperialdramon next turn, and then potentially 2 or 3, because I've got the Omnimon as well as the Digimon coming out of my breeding area. So I think it might be best to either just play like a Vmon, just to get more bodies on field, or I'm actually just going to go into Omnimon for 4 just to get an extra hit in. Omnimon does have the Blitz ability, allowing me to swing once again, and this way I'm also protected from any sort of deletion effect. So if he Hell's Gates me, which I'm not sure if he's playing, but if he Hell's Gates me, if he like Omnimon Zwarts me, which I guess wouldn't be irrelevant because Omnimon does have like a 13 play cost, I think, but basically any of those, you know, BS removal cards that purple does have access to, Omnimon is protected of those just once per turn, basically, because you do have to detach a level 6 material to save yourself. But my opponent is going to bring out his DanDevimon. And then there it is, he's going to Digivolve into the Retaliation Devimon. So Retaliation is a card effect that allows you to delete an opponent's Digimon if you did lose the battle. So he is basically forcing out this effect. Omnimon, luckily, does not die to Retaliation because he will just use his effect to trash 1 level 6 material to survive that card effect. So then my opponent is also going to get the draw and discard off of the Demimeramon, and then potentially the effect of the Promo DanDevimon if he does have 7 names in trash, which he may or may not at this moment. I'm not actually sure, but even if he does bring out a DanDevimon, it's not going to matter because I've got 2 swings the next turn. I've got an Omnimon on field. And if he decides to block, I could potentially even go like DanDevimon and run him over or something. So he's just going to end things off by playing the DanDevimon for 1. So I do, for 2. So I do only have 1 memory, but that's fine. I'm just going to swing with the Omnimon. I get in my last hit, and Omnimon is not going to die because he is 14,000 DP. Luckily, I barely escaped that threshold. And then I'm going to probably, now is the time I think just to get 1 extra body on field because potentially if I block next turn, like maybe he has a way to get in multiple attacks. Maybe he's playing like Anubismon or something. You never know, so I might need that blocker. But he's just going to hatch the Demimeramon and then Digivolve into Gabumon afterwards. But with 2 memory, he could go like DanDevimon. That's the only unfortunate thing about DanDevi. He is a 4 cost to evolve, which is usually why you want to bring him out. So without a memory tamer and without any other ways like Jack Raid or anything to gain memory, he's going to go into DanDevi, but he's going to just finish his turn by, like, he's going to pass his turn by Digivolving that. So I'm going to go ahead and draw and hatch. I don't know what that Vmon was doing earlier. I'm sorry about that. But so he's going to Digivolve, and I'm going to Digivolve into Gomamon, and then just swing with the Omnimon. He is forced to block with his Devimon, and then I'm just going to swing with my Vmon for game. So guys, that's going to be game. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.